Hello, everyone. Welcome to Flyers Training Center here in Voorhees, New Jersey, as the 2025 Development Camp continues today. I'm Brian Smith. Happy to have you along with us on this 4th of July weekend. We are bringing you live coverage of the 3-on-3 tournament here today as part of Flyers Development Camp. A bit of a hectic situation here, but we're going to keep you up to speed with it as best we can. We are using the just the 67 arena. We've gotten so accustomed to using class of in front of the 23 rink in Penn. But no, this is the 67 arena, which is a third sheet at Voorhees that is a little bit smaller than regulation and certainly a smaller building. So there's not a lot of room in here. There's some people here watching, but understanding that not a lot of people are going to fit into this building, we wanted to bring you here on the stream today so you can see what's going on. Again, it's a 3-on-3 tournament. They split the camp up into 4 teams, and Team Black has just tied the game. As we observe here, it is again a bit of a smaller camp than has been in the past, but they do have about 9 guys per team here today, so we're going to get plenty of action here. We are also going to do our best to keep up with the play as best we can, because in this room that we're in, there's nowhere to watch from up high. There's no balconies. We're not elevated anyway. We're actually in the penalty box, in case you can't tell. So this is a definite ice level perspective of this thing, and we're going to keep up again with it as best we can. It's the equivalent of a regular broadcast if you just ran the entire broadcast off the camera that was in the penalty box. Team Black just called an offsides here, vehemently calling an offside. We do have an official here today, but the players themselves are going to run the proceedings here. This is certainly an opportunity for them to have some fun, opportunity to compete a little bit after really 2 days of drills and then a day of off-ice activities yesterday on the 4th of July. And the competitive juices are definitely going to show here in a game like this. Tell you a little bit about the guys as best we can as we go through here. Obviously, the pace is pretty quick here in a 3-on-3 situation, and that's basically all we're going to have for you today. We're going to be doing this for a couple of hours here. If you are just kind of wondering how this day is going to go, this is a 4-team tournament. They're going to play a round robin, so 6 games of 10 minutes each, and this one is about 3.5 minutes old at this point. We're going to play 10-minute running clocks for all these games. So we're going to play 6 games in a round robin format. Team Black and White out here right now, obviously. Team Orange is standing by, I think maybe with another Team Black. I don't know if we have gray jerseys today or not, but we'll keep you up to speed on what's going on if we can. But we're going to play a whole bunch of 10-minute games. There's going to be 6 of them. This is the first one before we have a couple of semifinals and a final. So, again, we plan on being here for a couple of hours here this afternoon. If that has anything to do with how you want to bump in and out of this coverage or kind of plan your day around it. A couple of nice saves there to Team Black. Ryan Cameron is the goalie in for Team Black right now that was just responsible for a couple of those saves. He's a camp invite. Flyers have 3 camp invites in this tournament. And Ryan Cameron, actually relatively local from Berwyn, Pennsylvania, playing in the USHL right now. I believe that's Carson Bjarnason we are seeing backstopping Team White. That is Bjarnason over there that just made those couple of saves at the other end. Second round pick Shane Versace with a chance there that, again, he's been pretty impressive in this camp for Team Jones and Team Briere are the actual teams for tomorrow's scrimmage. And we've seen a whole lot of good stuff from a lot of these guys the Flyers have picked here over the last week or so in this 2025 NHL draft. Shane Versace is part of Team Jones. We don't know what's going on right now. The teams are arguing over the rules at the moment. We're going to have another stream for you tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. That'll be a normal game over in the Phantoms rink here, so we're going to have a much more normal camera angle for you and a little bit more normal vantage point. But that'll be again a 6 o'clock start. And that'll be a traditional 5-on-5 20-minute period game between Team Jones and Team Briere. Find all the rosters and everything on the Flyers website, PhiladelphiaFlyers.com. The Flyers streaming channels will have a little bit about these guys as well. It is a 2-0 game right now for the black team that we are looking at here today. And we are keeping track. This is Team Patrick Sharp. Team Sharp and Peters is how they have this listed. Here is Porter Martone, the Flyers' high first-round draft pick in that 6th overall slot. And he had a chance in front, tried to maneuver his way around Ryan Cameron, but ended up getting snuffed out. Now Martone's got it back for Jack Nesbitt, the other first-round pick. Couldn't quite find the puck on that shot. And there's another goal for Team Black as that one goes to Nathan Quinn. You can see we're not even bothering to stop between goals here, but it is now 3-0 for the black team you're watching here in this first game. Second round pick in this past draft, Matthew Guard, with a shot there that went just wide. He's number 86 if you're watching out here. Emile Chouinard maneuvering in the corner, and now he moves it off to Alex Bump, who's stripped by Sawyer Bolton. Guard's got that back in some space. Not a lot of space out here. Again, I'm not sure what the actual dimensions of this rink are, but they're certainly narrower than normal. It's a rink that has been here for, the entirety of this building. It's been here over 25 years now, I think, but it wasn't ice until just last year. This was a roller rink when the building first opened, and then it became a turf rink, I guess you'd call it, a turf facility for lacrosse and indoor soccer, stuff like that. And then the Flyers put some ice in it here to make a third sheet here at Voorhees. It's certainly been valuable to have this summer because the Flyers rink is being renovated. Here's a goal for Team White as they get on the board for the first time in this particular game. It is Hunter McDonald scoring for Team White. Team White just called icing for our referee today, and Team Black said, hey, there's no icing. That is, it doesn't matter if it's an NHL game or a 3-on-3 development camp scrimmage. These guys are trying to get away with everything they possibly can in this game today. Everybody's got their own opinions. Alex Siernick is going to go back and get this loose puck. He's chased down by Guard. Net is empty at the one end because there's just 1:13 left, and Team White is down by 2. So we're again, there is no dearth of competition here. They're trying to do everything they can to win, and now Team White's got a 4-on-3 as Martone is back. He leaves Siernick with the puck out to McDonald. McDonald going down to the right side in front for McDonald again. And a save made. Rebounds knocked back out toward the blue line. Chopped away. Here's Martone 1-on-2. He'll dump it in deep. Guard back after it. Martone on the forecheck, trying to push it free. He's got some help. And here's a chance. A save made. 34 seconds left here in game one. Pushed out to Martone. He's looking from up high. Down left side circle. One-timer is stopped by Ryan Cameron. Ryan Cameron with some impressive work here in game one. Here is Jack Nesbitt looking, and he caught the inside of the post with that one. Rebound out left side corner with 10 seconds left. They battle for it to the side of the net, and Team Black's going to come out with it. They'll push it ahead. Nesbitt, though, able to knock it free and keep it in the zone, but the time has expired, and Team Black with a early win here in this first game. 3-1, the final score. If you're keeping track at home, that's good because we don't really have much other way to tell you what's going on here. We're trying to keep track down here, but again, it's a crazy tournament. So we're going to switch out Our first Team Black is going to leave, and Team Orange is going to come on with another Team Black. So, again, we've got one more day of this development camp. We've got the 5-on-5 scrimmage tomorrow between Team Jones and Team Briere. That'll be a 6 p.m. game. And, again, it will be over. There's not a ton of room to watch these games in the Phantoms rink, but there's more room than there is in here. So it'll be a little bit easier to see that if you want to come out here to Voorhees tomorrow. If you are so inclined, we will have that stream for you here on these same channels tomorrow. Myself and Jason Bertitas will join us for that one, as we'll get a look at these guys in true game action for the first time. And then, of course, after this camp is over, a lot of these guys are going to head back home and have a little bit of a summer, still be getting ready for the coming year. And before you know it, it's going to be September, and we're going to have hockey again here in Flyers Training Center. Right around Labor Day is really when it starts getting busy here. Flyers are going to have a rookie camp first, then the main training camp opening in mid-September. Carson Dorwart with a head of steam. He got into this game in a hurry, but he is dispossessed to the puck in that left side corner. This is Tim Lovell. Interesting story for him. He's been playing in Germany, where his dad was living when he was born. Now Lovell back defending a 2-on-1. Did so fairly well. Comes back out to Cole Knuble, son of Megan and Mike. But we want to make sure Megan Knuble gets love here in this broadcast as well. We always want to make sure that we don't get too lost in Dad's shoes there. Cole Knuble, of course, at Notre Dame right now, and Flyers really high on how he's developing there. Here's Spencer Gill with a shot that got blocked to the left side corner. Knuble gets that back. Gill tried to drop it down to the left side. He had a teammate there, Noah Powell, draft pick from last year. He's possessing it now right in front of our camera. And now it's chipped back down to the left end. Goaltender to our left is A.J. White. And the goaltender to our right is Waylon Esch, son of Robert. In the camp is an invite. As more and more recent players are getting kids that are old enough to come here, and it starts to make your back hurt a little bit. Here's a chance that's turned aside by A.J. White, as Team Orange trying to keep it going there at the center red line. And now one catches the post. That is Alex Carbonneau with a chance from out in the point. He'll drop it out to Westgard, now to Carbonneau. Carbonneau sweeping around behind the net. They have established that there is no icing. We're not going to call icing here in this game today, or we're going to call much else, to be honest with you. Even if there is a penalty of some sort, it is going to be the pursuit from center ice is what they're going to end up doing. Flyers do have a pretty healthy amount of training camp invites in this camp, guys that were not drafted, but they're trying to take a look at. They've got 6 forwards in that spot and also 6 defensemen that are all getting a look, and then, of course, the 3 goaltenders that we mentioned. Devin Kaplan made his NHL debut in the final game of last season in Buffalo. He's out in this camp, and he'll drop it now off to the left side point. And this is Chouinard maneuvering around. Got it back to Kaplan. He is defended closely by Heikki Ruohonen. Sit back around behind the net. Ruohonen's going to get to this in the corner. And just dump it back into space. Team Orange is going to change. And Carson Dorwart will step in on the forecheck. Dorwart out with Jack Murtaugh, second-round pick from last week, in number 38. And he'll intercept this out of midair. Here's Murtaugh in over the line. Murtaugh drops it out to Tim Lovell. That one was blocked on its way in. And Knuble will pick it up and swoop around behind the net. Jack Murtaugh headed to Boston University in the fall. There's a shot by Knuble that's deflected up over the net off the end glass. And Dorwart will move this ahead. Carson Dorwart, of course, acquired from Toronto and Scott Lawton trade, and got a good look last year with the organization. Getting settled in here for his first full season. His shot goes high off the glass and all the way down the ice, and Esch will come out to pick that up. 6:12 left to go here in this game 2 of our 3-on-3 development camp scrimmage. Jack Murtaugh finds the right side post. Again, if you joined us late, we're going to have 6 games here in round-robin format and then a couple of semifinals and a final. We think this is going to go probably at least another hour and a half or so, well into the 3 o'clock hour is what we are expecting. But, hey, things might go a little bit quicker. We are going to have a couple of ice cuts here, so if you go away and come back and we're not here, that's because the Zamboni's out. That puck went off the netting up above the glass, right back out, which is fair game. Again, not a lot of whistles in this 3-on-3 format, as another save is made by A.J. White to our left. Breaking out with it is Andre Mondu. And Mondu will play a pass ahead. Comes around behind the net. Mondu, a camp invite out of the Ontario Hockey League. He played for Kingston at the end of last season. Jumped up there at the end of the year after spending the majority of the season in the OJHL last year. Here's Devin Kaplan into the circle, trying to find a man out in front. That was kicked aside. And another draft pick from last week's draft with a nice defensive play there. That is Luke Bluswick, 5th-round selection out of Red Deer in last week's draft. Breakout opportunity here for Team Orange. Down the left side, Chuminaro with a shot and a save made by White. Coming back the other way is Team Black. End-to-end action here all of a sudden. And that shot blocked off the stick. It comes back up the right side. Rule Honan in a foot race here, but it's going to come in on net, and White's going to push that to the far side. Chuminaro getting this back for Kaplan. Back to Chuminaro and over the line. Chuminaro sachets his way past Knuble, gets the shot away, a save made, and the puck into the end netting, so they're just going to let Team Black skate out with it. Still no score in this one. 4:05 left in this first period, or first period in this game. Reading the scoreboard gets to be a force of habit. Here comes Team Black out as Spencer Gill moves it ahead. Knuble pulling it around Murtaugh. Knuble into the slot. Couldn't get the shot away as Lovell played him well. Tim Lovell with a pretty impressive showing so far here in this first game. As Dorwart has it tied up at his feet. Powell knocked it away, and Lovell throwing the body. As, again, this is a fully competitive game. You can count on that. As Dorwart moves it ahead. These guys, again, have been doing drills and stuff like that, just the small ice drills and all that stuff for a couple of days here in this camp, and now all of a sudden an opportunity to come out and actually play a game is welcomed. Here's Powell over the line. Powell looking to shoot. Save made Esch. Rebound knocked into the corner. And now here comes Murtaugh with it. Murtaugh up the left side. Murtaugh tried to pull it around Knuble. Back to the net. Knuble knocks it away. Now they battle in the corner. And tied up in skates there as a man went to the ice. It'll pop free into the slot. Murtaugh, good forecheck there on Spencer Gill, causing him some problems. But now Gill turns it away and moves it all the way up on Esch, who's going to cover and not get a whistle, but get some implied relief as here comes Orange the other way. Puck is kicked to skates in the slot. Still tied up there. Now pulled back out in front, and the pass was knocked to the boards. Picked up by Orange going the other way, or rather Black. This is Sulku in it. Santeri Sulku tried to center. That was broken up nicely by Westgard. And now here comes Team Orange down the left side. It is Westgard in over the line. Westgard stood up in the slot. Doesn't really have any help as his teammates are changing. This is Mondu trying to work it away. And it is kicked off to McPherson around behind his net. Here comes Team Black up the ice. This is Ryan McPherson. Up that left side. Oh, a collision in front of the net as Waylon Esch is taken out. And I think we might see our first penalty of the day here on that exchange. There's no replays in case you haven't figured that out yet. But it's going to be a dump and chase, whatever they call it. There's a name for this. I just don't remember what it's called. What do they call these penalties? Pursuit, whatever? I don't know. Jailbreak, right? Yeah, jailbreak. Jailbreak penalty situation here. So you see the shooter get to the puck first, and everybody else is going to chase him. And a backhander stopped by Esch. A nice save on Heike Ruohonen, who had the opportunity there on the breakout. Here's Kaplan going down the right side. Oh, a nice poke check there to knock that away from him. That was Vluswick with the long stick. Blueswick's got the reach. One of these giants the Flyers drafted last week. He's 6'5". Now here's a chance for Orange, trying to break the stalemate, and they do. It's put home by Nick DeSantis. DeSantis, an invite out of Cornell from Collegeville, another local guy, and he's got the first goal of this game with 1:20 left as Knubel gets stoned by Esch at the other end. So Team Orange clinging to the ever so slight 1-0 lead as Knubel's got it around behind the net. He's trying to find some help, but he's more or less double teamed back there. Rare in a 3-on-3 situation. Net is empty to our left, so it's 4-on-3 now for Team Black as they are trying to find the equalizer. Knubel off for Gill. He fanned on the shot. Powell trying to knock it down, but Lovell's going to move this ahead for Dorwart, who's got an empty net, and he's going to bury it. Carson Dorwart off the nice headman pass by Tim Lovell, and it is going to be a 2-0 Orange lead as they leave the net empty. Now a breakaway at the other end, but turned aside by Waylon Esch. Back after it in the corner. Team Black pulling it free. 28 seconds to work with. This game's still within reach for them as it's stopped by Esch, dropped off for Dorwart. Dorwart is going to flip one over here toward the bench where we're at. Rink wide pass blocked by Gill. Pushed back ahead. Here's a chance. Another save by Esch. Waylon Esch perfect in this one. He's got 10 more seconds. See if he can keep it. But Solku picks a pocket. His pass, though, was behind McPherson. Steered off to the circle. Here's a turnaround shot by Berglund. Jack Berglund's attempt is blocked down, and that's going to do it for game number 2. So a shutout for Waylon Esch and his club. This team in this tournament is officially referred to as Team LeClaire and Stewart. John LeClaire and Chris Stewart behind the bench for that group. And we are 2 games in here in this 3-on-3 tournament. So we'll see who's back out here for game 3. We do not have a game schedule. We're just, again, kind of winging this here. There's Ryan going by. Ryan Hagen, promoted to lead cinephotographer this offseason. You just saw him with a drive-by there in front of our camera. Brian Smith here with you at Flyers Training Center in Voorhees. Glad to have you along with us. Hope you're enjoying the show. Zach Smith is on the camera. Wiggle the camera there, Zach. You can see our vantage point. Again, we're in the penalty box. We're literally in the penalty box next to the bench, so you can see everything as well as we can, which is not great. Cody Wiggins to our left doing the clock here today. It is a group effort to get these camps going, and many thanks to the staff here at Flyers Training Center for all the stuff they've got to do to make these things happen, and everybody running the camp here this week. So what we've got out here right now is another Team Black. I don't know what we're going to do when the 2 Team Blacks have to play each other. I don't know if we've got extra jerseys for these guys, but I'm sure they've got that logistical challenge figured out. So we'll get an idea here of which teams we've got. That is Porter Martone, who just drove by us in a rapid rate of speed. Boy, that guy's been impressive here in this camp. And you're just excited to see what he's going to bring to the table here. Perhaps not maybe this year. You don't know. We don't know it's going to be this year, but definitely in the next year or 2, we were going to be seeing some great things from him at the NHL level. So another white versus black game here just underway. This is the 3rd game of the day. Again, we got 6 round-robin games coming, and then we're going to have a couple of semifinals and a final. This is Riley Armstrong and John Snowden's team in Team White. And the team wearing the black jerseys in this one is Noah Powell's team. That's the Schultz-Moran team. So Nick Schultz and Sam Moran coaching this Team Black. You can bet that's going to be a very defensive sound team if they are the coaches of those 2. Not a lot of goals, but sound defensive play. Here's Alex Siernick drifting in the left circle. He's playing catch with McDonald. Now it's put on net and a save made. Rebound picked up, and there's a breakaway the other way. Here comes Team Black. Sulku with a chance and a save made by Carson Bjarnason on Santeri Sulku in the breakaway situation. Thrown ahead up the far wall. McDonald back just inside his line. Hunter McDonald making his way to center. Sulku trying to lift the stick, couldn't do it. McDonald into the circle. His shot deflected partially by Luswick to the end boards. And Luswick pulling it free, but now Team White gets it back at the line. They're going to regroup out at center. Justin Sullivan here out of Harvard, 93 in this camp. An invite. It's moved ahead to Knuble. Knuble had it knocked off his stick. Trying to get to it in the circle was McPherson. Dropped it back to Knuble. Knuble checked closely. Ivan Segi. And Segi giving Knuble the business. These guys have seen each other quite a bit in college, I would imagine. And Segi, of course, out of Michigan State, and Knuble at Notre Dame. I'm not even going to venture to guess what that league is called right now, but that's an old school CCHA matchup. CCHA is well off into the history books of college hockey at this point. Here's Nola Powell getting his way around a man. Powell moving in, shooting, looking for that upper right corner, but that was knocked away by Bjarnason. They battle for it behind the net. And Powell pinned along the end boards. A couple of Team White players trying to dig it free. This is Cash Koch with it back there. Now a shot in on net, turned aside by Bjarnason. Moved away. Here's Cook up the left side. Cash Cook out of the Western League. Camp invite. Tri-City Americans. It's chopped back out in front of the net, but it comes clearing to the near side boards, and they'll battle for it there. It's thrown ahead. Up the left side. Here's Black. Martone coming out to play some defense on Ruohonen, and does a good job knocking that away from Heike Ruohonen. He'll back in, support the play. Now here's Martone, head of steam over the line. Dangles through a couple of guys. Tried to drop it off to Nesbitt, but that went through his skates. Nesbitt coming back after it. Nesbitt pursued, but he'll bring it up right in front of our camera. Now over the line, here's Nesbitt trying to drag his way around a defenseman. Couldn't do it, but he still holds on to possession. Nesbitt swings it off left side. Martone, nice look out in front and unable to shoot. Was a teammate there. Now they drop it back off to Martone, and he'll go into the corner with it. That is Coombs out there working with these two guys. Ritter Coombs battling on the front doorstep. Coombs now behind the net, into the corner, looking for an opportunity, but he's taken to the wall, and now he'll lose it as his stick broke. And here comes Team Black moving up the line. Ritter Coombs, an invite out of Dubuque of the USHL. Familiar with Nesbitt, no doubt, from the USNDP days. And Flyers actually have quite a few guys that have been through that program that just joined in this past year's draft. Battled out in front, a shot stopped by Bjarnason, and now it's moved ahead. Here is Cernik up the right side. Alex Cernik over the red line, gains the zone. Cernik steps his way in, and his shot was turned aside. Bouncing puck will be corralled, and they'll take over after a little bit of a breather, as that's A.J. White moving in the net to our left. Here's Cole Knuble. He's got a step. Knuble moving in. He shoots and scores. Cole Knuble. Top shelf right side over the glove of Carson Bjarnason. And Knuble has made it a 2-0 game. So Team White with a bit of a hole to dig out of here. They got 4:20 left in this, the third game of this 3-on-3 tournament. If you joined us late, we'll run you through what's happening here. We're actually in the 1967 arena here in Flyers Skate Zone, which is tucked off to the side. If you've been here before, you might know it as the old roller rink or the turf rink that was here. Well, lo and behold, they can put ice in here, and they found that put that in a year ago, and now we're using it here in development camp. So it's a very small room, very small rink surface that is not regulation. So ideal for this 3-on-3 situation, and we are playing a 3-on-3 tournament here on the penultimate day of development camp. As here's Noah Powell with a breakaway. Powell with a shot and a save made by Bjarnason. Team White's going to take this out from the end boards. So after we play this game, we're going to have a resurface. So we'll probably leave you for a minute or two, and then we'll come back with 3 more games before another resurface. And then we're going to have a couple of semifinals and a final. We've got our second penalty of the day. Nope, they didn't call a penalty. I think they just called a puck into the bench and out again. The rules of hockey are being loosely applied in this one. Here's another chance for Sulku, and that one's turned aside by Bjarnason. Most of the time, if the puck is hitting something that's not the glass or the boards, or if it's hitting the netting or somebody on the bench and it comes back in, they're just playing on. Again, it's a 10-minute running clock, all these games, so there's not a lot of time to work with here. So we're not doing face-offs or any of that fancy stuff. Not doing power plays. Nothing like that. So just end-to-end action here, 3-on-3. And that one has snuck through. There was a battle in front, and A.J. White could not quite corral that, and it is poked home. And I think they're going to give that to Ciernik. So Team White has gotten on the board. It is 2-1 with 2:13 left to go in this third game of the afternoon. Here's Ruo Honan being run down by Versaghi. He's got some speed to Shane Versaghi there in the back check, and he's able to snuff out Ruo Honan having a clean opportunity there. Martone looks to be faking a shot, but Knuble broke it up. Knuble trying to spring himself down the left side. Instead, it comes to Blueswick. His shot blocked by Martone. And I'll tell you what, again, it's a 3-on-3 scrimmage, but we've seen a lot of good defensive play out of Porter Martone here in this 3-on-3. Certainly have seen some impressive offensive opportunities as well. Now he tries to steal it out of the glove of A.J. White, but they have blown that dead. Said you can't do that. Here comes Powell down the left side. Steps around Nesbitt. 2-on-1. Nesbitt, or rather Powell with the shot that went just wide. Powell's got it back in the corner. Powell trying to shake his way around Nesbitt. And now he'll get it out in front, but it's broken up by Ciernik. And Ciernik back after it in this right side corner. Sorry about the corners if you can't see what's going on. We can't either. So again, one of the things about this room that we're in, this rink, is there are no elevated positions. There's no balconies. There's really nowhere even to put a ladder. So we are in the penalty box, and that makes it difficult to see these near side corners, but hopefully you get an idea of what's going on. Here's Coombs and Ciernik playing catch. Ciernik center point, puts one through traffic, save made, rebound went right to Coombs, and he put it back on net, but that was turned to the end boards. And now Nesbitt's being hooked, or rather Berglund is being hooked dramatically by Coombs. That is let go, much to the chagrin of the bench to our right. Here's McDonald in over the line. McDonald fires one in on net, and that's stopped by A.J. White. He'll hold on. And now Gill is getting into it with McDonald. Hunter McDonald, certainly a thorn for opposing teams when he's playing in real games. And time is winding down. Just like that, we are done here in Game 3. So it is a 2-1 win for the black team in that game. And that black team is the Team Schultz-Moran grouping. So we are going to have an ice resurface here. While they do that, we're going to step aside. We're going to regroup and get you some standings here, because I really have no idea who's won and lost these games at the moment. But we'll figure all that out for you, and we'll update you when we come back. We are 3 games in here to the 3v3 round robin tournament here at Flyers Development Camp. Again, we've got lots of hockey left here in front of us today. So don't go too far if you want to see some more of this as the afternoon goes on. We are going to take just a little bit of a brief break here, and then we will be back with more after the ice is resurfaced here at Flyers Training Center in Voorhees, New Jersey.
Well, you can, but it just resets the movement. Everyone's got to get back on side. Walton skated back.
Welcome back to Flyers Training Center here in Voorhees, New Jersey, as the 2025 development camp rolls on here on this 4th of July weekend. Brian Smith and a very capable crew here trying to keep up with this tournament here today. We are in the 1967 arena, which is the third rink in Voorhees. It's off to the right of the Phantoms rink. It is a smaller rink than normal, and that lends itself to some great 3-on-3 action here today, which is what we're bringing you. Glad to have you along with us, and again, we're doing the best we can here. So we're down here in the penalty box, and if you look to your right, you see that's basically what we can see, and that's basically what we can see. And then over here, we've got something new. If you can see over there underneath the Spectrum bars, the tribunal of Keith Jones, Danny Briere, Rick Tockett, and Brent Flair now judging everybody that's playing in this game. I am endlessly amused by this setup. There is no really elevated position in this rink that we're in, which is why we're in the penalty box. But these guys are over here now looking like America's Got Talent judges or something like that. And are going to enjoy the rest of the game from that perch. So, again, easily amused down here in the penalty box, but that's quite the sight. We've got some scores for you here from the first 3 games. In case you're just joining us, we played 3 games already. Got 3 more coming here before another ice cut, and then we're going to have a couple of semifinals and a final here in this event. But Team Armstrong Snowden, that's Riley Armstrong and John Snowden running that team. They're 0-2 through the first 2 games. Team Schultz and Moran, Nick Schultz and Sam Moran running that. They are 1-1. And Team LeClaire and Stewart, which is John LeClaire and Chris Stewart, going to be wearing orange in this game. They're to our right. They're 1-0. And Team Sharp Peters is to our left. They're going to be in black in this game. And they are 1-0. So one of these teams is trying to go to 2-0 here in the early going, and the other one is trying to, well, they'll be at 1-1. They'll be right in the middle of everything. So set to go here as Alex Bump, who had a dazzling goal before we probably fully got on the air today in the first game. He's got the puck along the far side wall. Bump pursued up the right side. Ty Murchison comes back and helps out with this one. He moves it ahead to Bump, and Bump swings it back over to Owen McLaughlin on the left side. Ice is still a little bit wet here, so it'll be tough to complete some of these longer passes in the early goings, but that will come. Here is Bump. Sachets around Dorwart, goes to the far circle with it. Murtaugh pushed him aside, ended up back out in front. That'll be picked up by Murtaugh, and he'll skate it ahead. Jack Murtaugh with some good speed here as he moves it in on net. Save made, rebounds put home, and Carson Dorwart scores. Team Orange has taken an early 1-0 lead. That's Waylon Esch. No, excuse me, that is not Waylon Esch. That's Ryan Cameron to our left with the goaltending duties for Team Black, and they are right back at it with a goal on Waylon Esch. They've just put it home, and we are tied at 1. So not going to be a low-scoring game like we saw in a couple of the ones in the first half of this. Westergaard in on net quickly, save made, and he'll cover up that rebound. So again, that's Ryan Cameron to our left, Waylon Esch should be to our right. We are just trusting the rosters we have because I have absolutely no other way to identify these 3 goalies that are not Carson Bjarnason in this game today. But to each his own. Frenette at his own line, moving in. Nice move to get around Devin Kaplan. They played it ahead, but it's picked off by Tuminaro, and he's been moving in on net. A save made as Tuminaro tried to tuck it around the outstretched toe of Ryan Cameron, but couldn't quite finish that one off. Now Quinn's shot is deflected high and wide. Nick DeSantis stood up at the red line. Team Black wanted an offside, not going to get it. Tuminaro is going to back to his own line. Here is Kaplan. Kaplan battling along the far wall, but he's got his pocket picked. And here's a chance for Team Black. Kaplan able to recover, though, and prevent the shot, which was on the stick of Eric Charpentier. Charpentier takes a shot from Dorwart as Black continues to control. This is Bump, dropping it into the corner. Bump's had a pretty impressive camp so far by all accounts, and now he comes up high with it. Bump moving in. His stick was blocked there as he tried to take that shot, and the puck slid harmlessly to Dorwart, who goes around Bump and brings it up the right side. Here's Dorwart over the line, into the circle. His shot is blocked to the end boards. He gets it back. He's got Murtaugh there with him, but he can't find him as Murchison tied him up. And now here comes Black the other way. It's Bump ahead for McLaughlin into the slot. McLaughlin pulling it into the circle, knocked by Murtaugh to the corner. McLaughlin taking it back around behind the net, now flipping it back out to the line. This is Murchison with it. Murchison rolls off a check from Dorwart, tied up on the wall. McLaughlin will chase it into the corner and push it around to the near side where Bump's going to pick this up. Bump walking the line, pushed out to center by Murtaugh, now spins his way back. That should have been very offsides, but here comes Bump putting it in. I don't know exactly what the offsides rules are today. We're just going to go with it. Here is Westergaard with a breakaway save. No, didn't get through. That was a goal. That was a goal. It did get through. So in and out very quickly, and Westergaard making it, what's the score? 2-1. Here comes Charbonneau with another opportunity. And he battles for it in the corner. Again, we are all just flying by the seat of our pants here this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, including the 6 guys on the ice, because I'm not sure anybody really knows what certain rules are in this event, but we're just here to have some fun today. It's a great day for hockey. Charbonneau behind his net pushes it up the far wall. Giampa there is trying to pull it free. He is tied up by guard, and now Charbonneau is going to get this back out. Charbonneau moving it ahead. Here's a chance and a save made as Cameron got that one in the glove off the stick of Nick DeSantis. 5:21 left here in this game 4 of this development camp. 3-on-3 scrimmage. Guard putting it out in front, and a chance stopped by Esch. Drops it off to the right for Tuminaro, and he'll skate around Quinn out to center. Tuminaro through traffic, gets it into the zone. Guard just shoots it right back out to center. It's going to come all the way out to Esch. We'll move it to Devin Kaplan. Kaplan, number 12, over the red line into the zone. Dishes it off left side for DeSantis. He's got Tuminaro up high, but he's going to be tied up in the near side wall. Now out to Kaplan. Kaplan shoots and scores. Devin Kaplan with a wire to the top side corner. And it is a 2-goal lead now for the LeClaire Stewart team, which is wearing the orange. 3-1 the score with 4.5 left to go in this first game of the second half of this round robin affair. Team Orange here trying to go to 2-0 on the day and all but lock themselves a spot toward the top seed. There's a shot and a save made by Esch. Tim Lovell is going to skate away with it and move it up the right side. Lovell over the line, tried to drop it, was blocked. He gets it back. Lovell with some moves here as he dishes it off to the right side circle. Lovell going back toward Dorwart. That was blocked. And now he'll battle around behind the nets, push to the far side, and he'll be picked up there by Team Black. Bump receives a pass at his line as everybody was changing. Short angle shot, almost fooled Esch. Caught some iron with that one, did Bump. As here's Murtaugh down the right side, drops it back. Charbonneau is shot. That one's stopped by Cameron. Rebound into the circle. He tried to center. It was blocked. Coming up the left side, here's Bump right past the camera. They go into the right side circle. Drops it back down to Fournette. Tried to bring it out in front. That was broken up. 3:24 left in this one. Here's Westergaard moving in, and a save made by Cameron. He blocks it to the corner. Black gets it back. Long pass ahead is, again, off the end boards to Chouinard on purpose, and Esch gobbles that up. Again, these guys have finally picked up on there being no icing in this event. Here comes Tuminaro with a nice move around Fournette. Drops it right side. Centering pass went free through the slot. Tuminaro had a chance there, but it's moved ahead to Quinn. DeSantis broke that up. Westergaard gets it back. Goes to Tuminaro. Dropped off. Working on it in the corner is DeSantis. Tuminaro had it taken away, and now here comes Team Black out with it. Up the right side, it's Quinn. He's going to drop this off for guard. No, he's not. He's going to take the shot. That was blocked by Kaplan. Kaplan muscling guard off in front of the bench, right in front of our camera, which is probably too close for you to see any of this. Here's Charpentier watching it go back to guard. Here comes Team Black through center. It is guard off the right side into the circle. Guard checked. Pushed it out into the slot. It's loose, and it's picked up by Kaplan. Backhands it ahead to Dorwart. He's got a step. Dorwart moving in. Save made by Ryan Cameron. Dorwart trying to work the puck free of traffic in the right side corner, and now tied up behind the net. Charpentier is going to come in and grab that and move it up the right side. It's flipped ahead to center. Lovell's got it. Tim Lovell couldn't get around guard. Lovell's got it back now as he works into space at the blue line. Tried to drop it back down into the slot. It was blocked, and here's Charpentier around behind the net. He'll move it ahead to center. A minute 30 left to go in this fourth game of the day. 3-1 Team Orange. A save made by Esch, and he'll knock that rebound ahead. There's a battle for it with Murtaugh and Murchison along the near wall. Now here comes Giampa around behind the empty net. Net's pulled as Team Black is down by 2, and they're trying to find an equalizer. Big check in front of our vantage point here, and almost took my water bottle out onto the ice with him. Here comes Bump over the line. Tried to drop it back out to Murchison. Murchison to Frenette in the corner. Taken away by Westergaard. 56 seconds left as Team Orange trying to finish this off. It's sent the length of the ice. Bump's going to be back after it. Here is Alex Bump bringing it out to center. 2 goals down here for Team Black with not a lot of time left to work with. Goes rink wide. Here's a chance. And a score from the left side circle. Owen McLaughlin has pulled Team Black within a goal. 30 seconds left. We just keep going. That's how this works. Here is DeSantis for the empty net, and he buries it. Nick DeSantis with his second of the day. And back to a 2-goal lead. And another interception here by Kaplan. Still an empty net to look at. Kaplan still holding. Dishes it off. They couldn't direct it on net. And Quinn has a man tied up on the end boards as time's going to tick off, and that's going to do it. It's going to be a 4-2 win for LeClaire and Stewart. And they go to 2-0 on the afternoon. These games are starting to get some physicality to them, that's for sure. So 4 games down here this afternoon, 2 to go before another ice cut, and then we're going to get back into the semifinals and final here today. So once again, if you joined us late, we are doing a 3-on-3 tournament here right now. And tomorrow we're going to conclude camp with a 5-on-5 scrimmage here at Flyers Training Center in Voorhees. That will be on the Phantoms rink tomorrow. We're going to have a stream for you here on these same channels beginning at 6 p.m. tomorrow. So that'll be, again, a full 60-minute game, 20-minute periods. And we'll have all that action for you here as we wrap up development camp tomorrow evening. Of course, the 2025 preseason is not far away. In fact, it's close enough that we've got a schedule. Yeah, and it's always fun to talk about this stuff on the around July 4th here. It still feels like we got a ton of time, but you really don't have too much time until the Flyers open up their preseason schedule. First 3 games are going to be on the road, and then we're going to have 3 of them at Wells Fargo Center, which by then will be known as Xfinity Mobile Arena, believe it or not. That is coming. But you can check all that out at PhiladelphiaFlyers.com. we have towels? Chris Stewart wants a towel. That's the referee's towel. We probably should let the referee keep that towel. Yeah, we don't want to share. We don't want to give the referee's towel. We'll find Stewie a towel here in a minute. We're underway here in Game 5. It's Team Orange. It was just out here a minute ago trying to go 3-0 on the afternoon. Devin Kaplan quickly up the right side. He's got DeSantis with him. Oh, a nice play there, though, to block off any opportunity. We'll tell you who that was in just a minute. Here comes DeSantis back out to center. DeSantis regains the line. DeSantis trying to get around the man. That was Jack Nesbitt who made that nice defensive play, and he moves it ahead to Porter Martone. Martone's forehand, backhand, and a save made by Waylon Esch on Porter Martone to keep this a scoreless game. Here is Tuminaro going to the net, and he got knocked off the puck and be picked up by White. Moving back up through center we go. Van Saggy down the left side, trying to pull it out in front. That hit a skate, and now it's knocked ahead to Murtaugh. Murtaugh's got Dorwart going with him, just out of his reach. Dorwart back after the loose puck. It's kicked along up the near side boards. Hunter McDonald lost it to Dorwart. Dorwart with a shot, just missed the upper left corner. Ricochets out to center where it's kept in by Solony, and now pushed ahead through center. Here is Ciernik with it. Working it ahead out toward the line. Rather, that was McDonald had it knocked off his stick. And Dorwart now into the net. Left side shot stopped by Cameron down there. Let's see. Oh, no, that was Bjarnason on that team. Carson Bjarnason with the save. There's another chance the other way, and Waylon Esch knocks that aside. Moved ahead through center. Here's Murtaugh. He's got to step on a man. Murtaugh stops and spins. And now we'll pull it back out and take some time. Lost the handle on it, though, at the blue line, did Murtaugh. And now it's moved ahead in for Westgard, and he puts it home. Murtaugh finds Westgard, and it is a 1-0 lead here for Team Orange in the early goings. Here is Cook with a shot, and that one was turned aside by Esch. Up through center we go. Here's a chance, and a glove save made by Bjarnason as he snuffs out that one off the stick of Matteo Giampa. Quickly Martone the other way. A shot is blocked by Esch. He gets the loose puck back himself, does Martone. Tried to go out to the point for Ciernik, but that was knocked down, and here's Kaplan, top of the circle. Kaplan feeds it off. Giampa with a chance. Another great save with the glove by Bjarnason. And quickly the other way, it's Ciernik with a chance. Ciernik dishes it off in front. One-timer save made by Esch as he slammed the door on Jack Nesbitt. They come back after it does Orange. They'll get into some space. Giampa on the near side. Orange looking to change, and now they'll throw it out to Kaplan. Kaplan ahead for Tuminaro, and he overskated that pass just a bit. Took a hit, and Martone coming the other way. Martone's tied up by DeSantis. He'll come away with it. Kaplan out to center. DeSantis trying to catch up to it. Got it to Kaplan. Kaplan with a shot and a save made by Bjarnason. It rebounds to the end wall. Kaplan flips it out in front. He had a man crashing the net, but it bounced off a stick. And now it's moved ahead for Nesbitt. Nesbitt defended by Kaplan. Could not quite pull that around in on Esch, who's able to make the save. And Team Orange is going to take over behind their net up 1-0 here with 4 minutes gone in this one. Dorwart pushes it ahead. And Orange coming down the right side. This is Tuminaro sending it to the far wall. Dorwart got it back. He's tied up, though, by Solove. And now moved ahead. He was looking for Van Saggy, but that was intercepted, and it comes back out to center. Lovell in over the line. Again, we're not really sure what the offsides rule is in this game. As Dorwart goes to the right side circle. Spinorama backhand stopped by Bjarnason. The blue line appears to be a suggestion today. Here is Lovell to the right side for Dorwart. Tried to go back to Lovell, but he was de-sticked, and now a collision in the corner as Van Saggy was in the middle of all that. Now he's got it back going the other way. It came in on Esch, who was able to turn it aside, knocked back out to center, and McDonald spinning away from Westgard. Some more contact away from the puck. Here is Coombs. Coombs tried to pull it around Esch. He was steered wide. Now another chance in front. Here's Sawyer Bolton. That one was stopped. They battle for it behind the net. And now Lovell is going to shovel it out to center, and Westergaard's going down the right side after it. Westergaard stops, looking for some support from the bench. Giampa turns and shoots. Save made by Bjarnason. And Team White will regroup. Here is Cook. Lost it to Giampa. Now he's hit. Penalty coming up on that one as he got tripped up. We have a lot of referees in my vicinity. If you can't hear it over my microphone, I don't know how audible these guys are, but everybody's got an opinion over here today. And we are going to get a jailbreak penalty shot here for Team Orange. Giampa's going to be the one that takes it. Here comes Mateo Giampa, head of steam. Fake shoots and steered wide by Bjarnason. Giampa back out in front for Kaplan. Kaplan back to him, and they score! Giampa and Kaplan able to hook up there as Kaplan was on his backhand, and instead of just trying to shoot it off the backhand, he goes right back to Giampa. And it is now a 2-0 lead for the undefeated Stewart and LeClaire team. Sounds like a race team, but it's a hockey team today. Here's Ciernik. Again, Ghastly offsides, but he continues it to the left side circle. Here's a shot and a save made by Esch. DeSantis chips it over for Carbonneau along the far wall. And now here comes Orange up the near side. DeSantis flicking it ahead for Kaplan, who seems to be out there every time Orange has an opportunity here in this game. He got shoved off the puck, though, by Team White. And now here comes Ciernik with a chance. He hit the goal post, and then he tried to shovel it over to Nesbitt on the left side, but it bounced over his stick. Nesbitt is checked to the boards by DeSantis. It's poked free. Ciernik can't keep it in. Tuminaro battling Ciernik along the far wall. Now Van Sege's got it, and he'll accelerate up the left wing. Van Sege into the circle. Save made by Esch as Van Sege came to the net with it. Comes back to Nesbitt. Nesbitt's got Solove coming off the bench, but he'll keep it himself. Nesbitt tried to shoot, but he fanned on it as he had to toe drag his way around a couple of guys. However, he did draw a penalty. He was hooked there, and we're going to get a opportunity for Team White, who's got the extra attacker out now, believe it or not. Here's Nesbitt, or rather Solove, with a shot and a save made by Esch, but the clock stops for these scenarios, and we are going to regroup with a jailbreak penalty shot here for Team White, which is the Armstrong Snowden group, looking for their first win here today. And here comes Nesbitt moving in, fake shoots and scores. Jack Nesbitt, good hands in tight, lifts it into the corner, and Team White is on the board. It's 2-1 with 2.5 minutes left to go in this contest. Now Nesbitt with a steal and brings it down the left side. Had Martone going with him. Didn't have a lane, so he'll pull it free. The net is empty at the Team White end. Rather early, I would think, because 2.5 minutes left to go. They're only down 2-1. But, hey, I'm sure there's some analytics on that somewhere. Here comes Carson Dorwart for Team Orange, flipping it ahead to Murtaugh. Again, has an empty net to shoot at. And Alex Ciernik makes the save with his chest. That didn't look like it felt good. Ciernik stays out there, though, and now it's moved ahead. Van Sege tipped it into the corner. He's trying to get around a large Carbonneau in the left wing corner, but can't quite do it. Now it's shot back out to center. Here's a foot race. Westergaard and Ciernik, and Westergaard wins that one and just lets gravity take over, and the momentum puts that into the empty net for Team Orange, now up by 2. It's pretty easy to score goals in these 3v3s, and the empty net strategy might want to wait a little bit longer, but hey, again, just out here having fun today. Here's Giampa flipping it toward an empty net. That one bounced wide. Porter Martone will sling one ahead, and he finds a recipient. Here's Solove with a shot. He scores. And Solove makes it a 1-goal game once again with 1:10 left to go. Round robin game number 5 here this afternoon. Martone getting it back. Martone will sashay through center. Drops it off for Nesbitt. Nesbitt, one-timer on the right side. That was Coombs. He didn't get all of that one. And then ricochets back out to center where it's picked up by Team White. Orange changes as Solove moves it to the right side for Coombs. Out for Nesbitt. A shot just wide. Nesbitt looking inside that right post and just missed it. Going to be flipped ahead to center, and another empty net opportunity here for DeSantis. He will bury it. We are back out to a 2-goal advantage for the LeClaire Stewart bunch. 30 seconds left to go in this game. Kaplan shoved off by Nesbitt, moved it ahead. DeSantis looked down toward the empty net, but it was no longer empty. It is now occupied by a goaltender. The Arneson sent back in. And so Kaplan is just going to burn off some time, flipped it ahead to DeSantis, and Team Orange wins 2 in a row out here to start the second half of this round robin. This one a 4-2 count. So the LeClaire Stewart team goes to 3-0 on the day. And Armstrong and Snowden knocked down to 0-3 on the afternoon. The other couple of teams are at 1-1, and they're the ones that we're going to have coming up next year for you in this Game 5. So we were just trying to take a moment here to kind of regroup as to what's going on down here. And it looks like we are going to have another ice cut real quick. So we're going to take a moment to step aside again, and we will be back with more. We've got more action coming for you here this afternoon from Flyers Training Center in Voorhees as the 3-on-3 tournament rolls forth. So hang out here with us. Go get a drink, something like that. Come back in a little bit, and we'll have more action for you here from the Flyers Training Center in just a bit. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Flyers Training Center here in Voorhees, New Jersey, as our 3v3 tournament rolls on here this afternoon. 4 teams battling it out for some kind of glory. Not sure what, but sure they're all letting each other know about it, whatever it is. We're going to have one more round-robin game here today. And then we've got some semifinals and some finals coming up here in a little bit. The game we're about to see right now here is between Team Sharp/Peters. That is Patrick Sharp of the Flyers development staff and Anthony Peters, the new head coach of the Reading Royals. They're wearing the black. The orange here is Nick Schultz and Sam Moran's team. And both of these teams are 1-1 here in their third round-robin game of the afternoon. So we had a little bit of an early break from what we thought we were going to have. I think one of these teams had to change clothes because they were both wearing black earlier. So this is Sharp Peters in the black and Schultz Moran in the orange here in this last round robin game. And again, both these teams are 1-1 as we get a goal there for Team Orange in the early going by Noah Powell. So Powell has found the back of the net to make it 1-0 for the orange team that you're seeing here. The other side of the bracket is the LeClaire Stewart team. They are 3-0 as they just won 2 games in a row before our last break. The Armstrong Snowden team is 0-3. So the loser of this game is going to take on, actually, I think this game is going to repeat in the semifinals regardless of what happens. Again, we're just kind of making this up as we go along, but the semifinals on one side of the bracket should be LeClaire Stewart versus Armstrong Snowden again. We're going to kind of see what happens as these teams come out, and then this could be a rematch of the other semifinal. But we're going to end up with a winner here eventually, one way or the other. Here is Santeri Sulku down the left side, and he had his thoughts broken up there by a couple of Team Black players. I don't know if he was going to shoot or pass that, but neither of them worked out for him. But he gets it back on the left side, and he tried to roof a backhander, and Sulku sent it almost straight up into the air off the end netting, which is in play in this game to some extent, as Black gets it, and we'll just send it up the left side. The one thing you're not going to see here in this game today is a face-off. We're not bothering with face-offs today, and we're somewhat not bothering with the blue line either. But here's Quinn on the right side as he is checked by McPherson. It's going to come back into the Team Black end, and they're going to regroup and get a change here and drop it off for Alex Bump, who had a dazzling goal early in the day here in the first 20 seconds of the first game. Bump's got a step on a man as he came around behind the net, but that puck was knocked away. And here comes Team Orange up the right side. This is Luke Luswick, 5th-round pick last week in the 2025 draft. He'll send it down into the corner. That's picked up there by Charpentier. And he will reverse course, come back up the left side. Long pass ahead for Bump at the line. Chipped it down into the corner. It comes around behind the net. And it's picked up there by McPherson. McPherson looking for an opportunity. We might be looking for a clarification on whether this is actually a semifinal or not. I don't know. We're going to get it. We're going to get to the bottom of this. As Powell sachets his way at center, tried to chip it down the wall. McLaughlin picks that up, pushes it ahead. Bump was hoping it came through his skates to his stick, but it didn't do that. Now Powell going the other way. Drops it off for Knuble. Left side circle, and that one went off a skate. Picked up by Bump, and he's got to step the other way. Here is Bump with a shot and a save made. Rebound goes to the right side corner. That is A.J. White making the saves down to our left. Now here's Gill left side. A shot and a save made. Rebound still loose in front, and slamming the door on that left side is Ryan Cameron. He is making the saves to our right. Now we've got a one-timer at the other end, and Frenette has scored. Connor Frenette with a blast that beats A.J. White. And we are all tied up at 4 minutes into this contest late in this 3v3 tournament. Connor Frenette, another camp invite out of Gatineau, Quebec, where he's been playing collegiate hockey in Canada as a slap shot from the left side circle. That one ends up in the bench, so we have to at least stop the game for a moment, and we're going to try to reduce it to just one puck on the ice because 2 of them have come out. And that's something, too, that Canadian University system, you didn't see a lot of guys coming out of there, at least not into the higher pro ranks, NHL, AHL, but you're starting to see that now. You're starting to see guys coming out of there to these development camps and starting to get looks as the quality of hockey is improving quite a bit at that level. Here is Chouinard around behind his net, and it's lost to Ruo Honan, who will move it up the right wing side. Mondu over the line. The shot deflected up into the end netting, right back into the slot. That is one of at least kind of the unwritten rules is you can play that, but you have to be the defensive team, and Guard's going to bring it down the right side now. Matthew Guard goes rink wide to Quinn, tried to find a man going to the net. That was broken up, though, and here comes Mondu back up the left wing. He's got Ruo Honan going with him. Toe dragged around one man, couldn't beat the second. And stepping back out is Matthew Guard with it. Guard. He'll go back to his line for Charpentier, and now up the right side, there's Bump with a chance. That one's deflected into the ceiling. Again, apparently still live, or it's picked up by Cole Knuble around behind his net. Knuble brings it up over the red line, now off to Powell, who got stood up at the line, pushed ahead down the left wing for Bump. Bump. Battling Vluswick on the end wall. Vluswick, the big 6'5 defenseman, not giving Bump an inch to work with. Now gets some support. Comes back down into the corner, knocked back out to McLaughlin. He's going to pull it back to center and regroup. Flips it again in deep into the zone for Bump, who's dispossessed. Bump's been out there a while. Now Knuble pushing it ahead for Powell. Here's Powell down the right side. Bump overtakes him, though, coming back the other way. Has McLaughlin just out of his reach. And McLaughlin comes back after it as Bump will go for a change. McLaughlin carrying it back out to center. Drops it off for Charpentier. Moves it in for net. Deflected one in on goal. And that one was stopped by White. He'll shove it off to the left side. Team Orange looking to break out. We're all tied up at 1, getting late here in this one. 3.5 left to go in this first. Well, we're not sure what we're calling this. We think this is the last round-robin game. It also might be the first semifinal. We'll find out. Here's a chip ahead for Charpentier. Stolen by Berglund. Moving in. Jack Berglund. Backhand scores! Nice move there for Jack Berglund, the second-round pick from a year ago. And he has broken this tie. It is a 2-1 lead for the Peter Sharp team. Pushed ahead to center and battled for there. Quinn pulls it free away from Solku. Here's Quinn over the line. Quinn's got a man going with him. That was Ty Murchison. Rolled off his stick, and he puts it back behind the net into the corner where Orange picks it up, and they'll move it up the left wing. Here's Berglund looking for more. Turns and shoots. That was deflected into the end netting. Orange is going to flip this back out to center. They're going to make Orange take it all the way back. They're going to keep possession, but again, because that puck went into the end netting, this is what we're determining will be the next course of action. Here is Gill over the line. Gill into the right wing circle. Gill pulls it out in front and hit the goalpost. Here's McPherson. Left circle shot blocked. Team Black getting in the way of that one. And Orange now looking to add to this lead as McPherson holds it out at center. McPherson back in over the line. McPherson working. McPherson has Gill in front. Broken up, though, nicely by Murchison. Ahead to Matthew Guard down the right side. He's got Bump with him. 2-on-1. Guard to Bump, and it rolls over his stick. He couldn't get the shot away. Bump gets it back behind the net, trying to flip it out in front. Now holds out to Guard. Guard with a wrister, and that one's gloved and held by A.J. White. 1.5 left. 2-1 is our score. Here is Knuble on the right side. Bump able to take it away and move it down on the right wing wall. He's got it back there. Bump sashaying his way into space. Nets are still in at this point. Goaltenders are still in, I should say. Back out to Bump. Team Black battling out in center. Bump. Left wing circle. Oh, he takes a big hit, does Alex Bump, as he tried to pull it around Powell, and Powell sent him to the ice. Powell, left side, rolls off a check from Chouinard. Now Bump and Powell are going to tangle on the far wall. McLaughlin coming out with it. McLaughlin on the backhand. Now the net is empty for Team Black as they're looking for the equalizer. Left side, it's Bump. His shot's deflected high. Goes into that right wing corner. Murchison picks it up. Murchison going back. Here's a shot by McLaughlin. That one whistled wide of the net. Bump gets it back. He's got 18 seconds to work with. Into that right wing circle. They'll switch spots. McLaughlin dropping it off from Murchison. Shot blocked. And it's out of play. Puck tossed back out in front. They've stopped the clock here. We are actually going to get something resembling a face-off here. It's the first face-off of the afternoon, other than the ones to start the game. So we did stop the clock because the puck went out of play and did not come back in. Now it started back up. They battle for it. Orange trying to throw it the length of the ice. They will, and that's going to do it. So the Stewart Moran team takes the win there. And now we wait and see what's next. All right, we're back here at Flyers Training Center in Voorhees. We were just trying to get a little bit of an update on what was going on here today, and we have it for you. That was they played that game there as a semifinal, because what we thought we were seeing was that those quote-unquote semifinals were going to be rematches, and it's kind of what they thought. So they shortened things a little bit here today, and we are about ready to embark on our final. So buckle in. I don't know. We need a name for a cup. What cup are we playing for? We need a name for a cup. We'll come up with something here before the game's over. Huggy Cup, maybe. How about Huggy Cup? The Huggy Cup is at stake. Huggy is the Mike Huggy Crater is the guy that keeps this place running, at least on the hockey side in terms of the facilities and stuff. So the Huggy Cup is hereby declared for this one. And our top two teams that we're going to see here this afternoon are the LeClaire Stewart team, which is 3-0. They're going to be wearing the black jerseys for this one, led by Devin Kaplan, who's been having a fantastic game here today. They're going to take on the Schultz Moran team, which is going to be in Team Orange. They're going to be changing off the bench to our left. The LeClaire Stewart team will be to our right. And we got one more for you here today. One more 10-minute game to decide it all here at Flyers Training Center in this impromptu 3-on-3 tournament. Again, if you are so inclined, tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, we're going to do another one for you. That'll be a traditional 5-on-5, 20-minute period game. Team Jones and Team Briere are the two unofficial teams. They've got the Huggy Cup here. It's coming out. Riley Armstrong's got it. I don't know what it's actually called, but that's what I'm calling it. We're going to get a look at it here. The Huggy Cup. We named it. Huggy Cup, is that good? Did it need a name? I don't know if it needed a name, but it's here. It's here in the box with us, so we're going to present that. All right, we're underway here. This is Noah Powell at center. And Powell double teamed as he goes into the right wing corner. He finds Spencer Gill, though. He's able to get out of jail there, and Gill works it out to the right side for Knuble. Cole Knuble into the circle, spins around a man. Lavelle was there, but a backhander was gloved and held by Esch. And now here comes Dorwart the other way. Dorwart down the right side. Murtaugh with a shot. He scores! Oh, a pretty one there for Jack Murtaugh, who's got a big smile on his face as he skates by us here in the penalty box. And it's an early 1-0 lead. So Jack Murtaugh, of course, the second-round pick last week. Here's another chance real quick here for Guard. Matthew Guard, backhand, forehand, stopped. And quickly comes the orange team the other way as Berglund dropped it back for McDonald. Comes to Solku on the right side. Now back out on that left side as Mondu was looking for a pass for Berglund. That was blocked back to him. Berglund maneuvering. Giampa has him tied up in the circle. He'll come back up high with it and drift all the way out to the red line. Berglund's going to take a spin all the way back around behind his net. And some new personnel on for both sides. Here comes Mondu in over the line. Mondu into the right side circle, backhands it through the slot, comes free to the far wall, and Solku had his stick lifted by Tuminaro, and that's going to result in a turnover coming the other way. Nick DeSantis spinning in the corner. Murchison has him closely guarded. Here's Kaplan into the slot, passed up the shot. Now dropped it off for DeSantis. He puts it home. Oh, a nice move there by DeSantis, who pulls it in tight and then goes up high. And it is a 2-0 lead here for the LeClaire Stewart bunch as we are 2.5 into this championship game. DeSantis lost his footing. Dorwart got it, but he lost it. Here's a chance and a save made. Another one comes in on net, and that one's turned aside and pulled out of harm's way. Now another steal, though, by Team Orange. Back to Ruohonen, and he blasts it home. Team Orange on the board, but Dorwart's right back the other way. He's taken to the end boards behind his net, and Orange will come back up the left side as Cole Knuble had it. It's poked off his stick, and now Black back to it as Dorwart drops it into the circle. Picked up by Tim Lovell. Head of steam through the right side. Drops it off. Pass blocked by Knuble. Kept in the zone, though, and Vluswick is there. He's tied up by Murtaugh. Knuble will come away with it, and here comes Knuble into the zone left side. Knuble's got Powell there with him. He'll come around behind the net. Knuble stops and looks. Fed a pass into the circle, but it was off the mark, and Murtaugh's going to get to it. Murtaugh's got a chance, drops it off. Where is it? It hit the goalpost, and I think it's been tied up in the crease. Team Black just missed one there. Jack Murtaugh thinks he had it, but it is judged no goal, so we are still at a one-goal game. That is A.J. White down there that is able to fight that one off. Fights off another one as Berglund gets to it behind the net. Waylon Esch, meanwhile, is going to glove one down here on this right side. Now we finally established who the goaltenders are. And again, there's no defining marks on any of these guys except for Carson Bjarnason. Here's Westergaard coming down the left side. Westergaard pries it off for Kaplan. He's got a lane, shoots, and a save made by White. Goes into the corner, and Berglund's after. Berglund lost it to Westergaard, but now he'll leave on a change, and Berglund gets it back. We are just about halfway through our championship game, and the LeClaire Stewart team leads 2-1 over the Moran Schultz outfit. Berglund battling in that corner, and we'll just ring it around behind. Comes to Kaplan on the left wing wall. Kaplan moves it ahead, and Team Black's got a step. They battle for it in the circle. Here's a shot and a save made by White. Deflected that up over and into the netting, out of play. So we have a stoppage here while we look for a puck. We got a puck. We don't. They're looking at us. We don't have any pucks. Now we got a puck on the ice. Here comes Orange up the right side. It's Ruohonen into the high slot. Ruohonen with a shot. Save made. Loose out in front. McPherson tried to kick it to his stick. Couldn't. Got it back to Ruohonen. Oh, another great save by Waylon Esch, who was already down and was able to keep that one out. Here is Devin Kaplan up through center. Kaplan in over the line. Kaplan gets around McPherson. Tried to bring it to the forehand, but he was tied up. And the puck slides harmlessly past the left post. Comes up to the right side now. Ruohonen into the right wing circle. Couldn't get the shot away. Dorwart blocked that. Now moved it ahead toward Lovell. It was knocked away. Dorwart's going to get this back at center. Dorwart over the line with a shot. Save made by White. Rebound kick to the corner. This is Ruohonen and Dorwart battling in that corner, and now Knubel's going to come away with it. Knubel on his stick. Gets it over the line. It's dropped back to Knubel in the corner. That one was blocked. And now Murtagh is able to pick it up and get it back into the safe area behind the net. Here comes Dorwart up through center, over the line. Carson Dorwart, head of steam on the backhand. Tried to bring it back around in front, but he was ridden past the net. And Orange quickly the other way. It's Knubel moving it ahead. He's got Noah Powell on the breakaway. Powell shoots and scores. Noah Powell ties it up with 3 minutes left here in this championship game and change, per se. Just above the 3-minute mark left to play. Quickly comes Team Orange the other way. This is Powell looking for more. Powell tried to shoot through the defenseman's legs. It was blocked, though. Did come in on Esch. He turned it aside. And now we are under 3 minutes to play in what is a tie game. Now the right side circle, a shot wide of the net. Battle in the near side wall, and everything is at stake right now here in these final minutes. Here is Team Black down the right side, kind of offsides. They're just going to give it up. It seems like you can't enter the zone offsides, and after that, all bets are off. Here's Blueswick coming into the zone onside. Sulku shoots and scores! Santeri Sulku has made it 3-2 with 2:15 left to go in this championship contest. What a comeback here for the Nick Schultz and Sam Moran-led group. Down 2. They've taken a 3-2 lead now and looking for more as a shot deflected up into the netting. Comes down to Team Black, and they're off the other way. Here's Devin Kaplan trying to tie the contest. Kaplan into the slot, gets the shot away. Save made by A.J. White. Gets it back to Kaplan now. DeSantis drops it to Kaplan. This team is not lost yet today. This could be the first time, though. Extra attacker is out. It's 4-on-3. Dorwart with a shot. That one whistled wide. Kaplan back after it with 1:27 left. Kaplan's behind the net. He's got Tuminaro on the left point. Tuminaro walks the line back to Kaplan. Kaplan, rink wide. Dorwart, shot, scores! Carson Dorwart has tied it with the extra attacker out. They got to quickly get Waylon Esch back in the net because play does not stop. Here's McPherson, feeds it across, another shot blocked. It's loose on the end boards. Pushed ahead through center. Here's Murtagh looking for the winner. He scores! 47 seconds left. Jack Murtagh has made it 4-3. And now we look for the extra attacker to our left, and he's coming out. Here's Cole Knubel with a shot that stopped. Jack Berglund is that extra attacker. He's going to go after it in the corner. Berglund spins around, tried to feed the point. Nobody there. Length of the ice it goes with 23 seconds left. Time is of the essence here for the Orange team. Here's Knubel in over the line. Again, kind of offsides. Here's Knubel looking back with it. Its pass was knocked away, and it comes back all the way down. Murtagh looking at the clock as he's settling it down. It's taken away. One last rush, long shot. Berglund did not pull the trigger, and dramatic back and forth action here in the championship game. The Chris Stewart and John LeClaire team triumphs. Oh, okay. Well, this is a fun one here today, folks. We're going to go off the air because they need our camera to take the team photos. So we thank you for joining us. Again, tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, 5-on-5 action here at Flyers Training Center. We'll have the stream for you here on the same spots. So we hope to have you with us then. We hope you've enjoyed it this afternoon. I'm Brian Smith for our whole crew here. We'll see you tomorrow.